How's it going, guys? Motor City Miner here coming at you from the farm, and we got a big update. Yes, I'm one of the first in this batch to get a KS5L 12 terahash model. Super excited to get this guy up and running for you guys. I actually have two coming because I bought the late June batch before they lowered the price. So I got a nice big old coupon to buy for a future purchase, which essentially made the second one half off of the new lower price. And we'll get into all this later in a spreadsheet because I do want to do a ROI, tracking on these two KS5Ls. I only got one at the moment. The other one's coming in a week or two. But yeah, we're gonna track both. And I'm gonna add to the spreadsheet by popular request both comparing not just ROI, like if you hold because the price might go up, which means you could hit ROI sooner, but also like if I had just bought the coin on those days instead. So going to compare to both the yield and the holding value. So but super excited. And also, if you haven't noticed, you can hear me clearly, which hasn't ever happened before, like ever. And oh my god, I'm gonna go on a sidebar here, guys, because this really pissed me off. I'm pretty sure all my microphones have always worked. It is just the stupid phone that you're looking at all this stuff through, which is an iPhone, because supposedly, good camera, good media suite, all that fun stuff. I also have an Android, but I got the iPhone so that I could make content better because the good camera, iMovie, all that stuff. Guess what? Guess what I just learned today? And I only learned this because I bought another $300 plus headset with noise canceling, and sure enough, it did not work. I was like, how on earth do these expensive things not work? And I was just so frustrated. Went online, and I was like, there's got to be something wrong. Like, something's not working. And it found it by accident, but essentially, I found confirmation that the iPhone does not allow for Bluetooth microphones while recording videos. Like, what? Like, you can use a microphone for a Bluetooth microphone for calls, or literally anything that requires your voice except video. But they advertise the iPhone as a content creation machine. Like, what? So, this whole time, it's solely been because of the stupid iPhone that I'm pointing right back at right now. Doesn't work with Bluetooth mics. Like, are you serious? Oh my god, I hate Apple so much. I've always hated Apple. I'm not an Apple fanboy in any means. I drag on them all the time. Literally anything but. But I got it just for content creation, and man, I'm so angry. Probably every microphone has always worked. So now you're probably like, well, how the hell is this microphone working? So luckily, the latest microphone I got had a USB-C like dongle as well. So instead of using Bluetooth, it has a dongle that you can plug into a PC, or in this case, I have a USB-C to like the Lightning connector adapter for my iPhone, and yeah, we are now using that adapter plus the dongle. I could also use a cord. They give you a USB cord if you don't want to use the dongle, but that just sounds like a nuisance. So yeah, I'm using a dongle with so it's not Bluetooth audio at all, which is just crazy. I don't know how we got here, guys. I'm so frustrated. I've tried so many microphones, so many expensive ones. It's like it's so loud here that I've always wanted noise canceling. I want them to be a microphone and a headphone, so I've been getting headsets. That way I can both not go deaf working here with the noise canceling, maybe listen to some music, all that fun stuff, or even answer calls. Because honestly, I used to have to leave the building to take calls. Um, I've gone through so many, but I do love these ones. So maybe a happy accident there that it took me this long, because these are definitely my favorite. They're super comfortable. Highly recommend. They sound amazing. Oh my gosh. But they do have noise canceling on the microphone. Yeah, right there. So hopefully we are done with bad audio content. Well, almost. So I kind of record as I go, and I don't always put things up. So I'm sure there's going to be a couple straggling movie clips here and there, and some upcoming content that was still recorded with without me knowing that it was essentially just using the iPhone mic the whole time. Anyway, back to the main event. We're going to be unboxing this today. Get this set up. We're pretty much ready to go over in the other room. Got a spot lined up for one. I only planned to buy one though, so you can see that I need to make room for a second one. But that's for another day. So yeah, excited to get this guy up and running. So let me break open this box for you guys and get it on the table here. We'll be right back. There it is, guys. Look at this beauty. Actually, honestly, this is probably one of the best looking ones I've ever gotten. It actually was in a fully sealed bag. Like there was no tape or anything. Like it was sealed on all four sides of the bag. But it is spotless. So excited to get this guy running for you guys. KS5L and the second one when it comes. But yeah, we're gonna obviously get this into the other room on the rack and get this going. We're gonna, like I said, check out the computer, a bunch of other fun stuff. Let's do this. Actually, before we do that, I wanted to point out something. They actually are wrapping the fan wires now, which is really cool to see. Like that. That's something you see on like higher end wiring for like like a personal PC or something. That attention to detail. So it looks like they're up in their, build quality here, and that's just nice to see. Normally they're just hanging out, but now they got them nice and wrapped. So yeah, let's get this thing going. All right, guys, we're in the red squadron where it's going to be. Again, I'll have to reorganize this a little bit, which is why I didn't really care that much about the wiring for now, because I'm going to need to make room for another KS5L. So I'll have essentially my 2 1.5s, my 3M, and then 2 5Ls. That'll be my Kaspa thing. I mean, those 1.5s are still making money. Good, like, I don't know, $7 a day or something in Kaspa, so not too shabby. But yeah, I did have to reorganize a little bit just temporarily as well, because I want to get some power readings for you guys. So I needed the only thing to be on my PDU that gives me voltage and amps to be the new KS5L. So I had to move some of the other stuff around, which won't be permanent, but just for testing right now. So I don't have all those other units on. But we are going to go and turn this bad boy on. I'm super excited. Yes. Let's do it. Thanks, Tswift, for getting me this KS5L. Let's do it. All right. It does have the same PSU as the KS3M and the KS3 and KS3L. So, if just information for you guys. Should eventually stop blinking green once it's has enough power in its capacitors. We'll see. Come on. We want to see those lights turn off, those red lights. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Interesting. The fans haven't spun up yet, so a little different than what I'm used to. There they go. Fans just spun up. Green light turns solid. So it seems like it takes a little while, the KS5L, to get going. Normally the other ones, they spin up right away. And it looks like it's set. So we're going to head on over to the computer. Luckily, this dongle means I can use this mic on the computer too when I record stuff at the farm. Guys, I'm so excited and annoyed at the same time about this. Like, I have solved the microphone issue, but oh my god, I hate Apple. Anyway, let's head over to the computer.
All right, so we're over in the computer. I'm not really going to go through the process of how to find your local IP. If you don't know how to do that, look at some of my earlier setup videos. My router, like I said, I can just go into it and it tells me the new devices and their IP address. So for an IceRiver, default's going to be admin and password is going to be 1 through 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to log in. It is going to do it. Okay, so the machine is not offline. Apparently, the new KS5Ls and the new KS0 Ultras, the new firmware for whatever reason, does not cooperate properly. But you'll see that you can switch to all these other pages and nothing pops up. It's just this first page that the dashboard doesn't seem to work. So what the solution has been is you need to go to your IP settings and you need to change it to static. I don't know if you need to fill out all this, to be honest. I guess we'll find out here. So I'm going to press save. Confirm to save. I don't know what that says. So it looks like they forgot to change everything to English in the firmware as well. So we're going to do a little Google search. All right. So we did Chinese simplified translation on that error we're getting, and it says, oh, I must actually fill out all that other stuff. Okay, so I guess you're gonna have to fill out all this stuff, which kind of sucks and is annoying. Do we have to fill out the DNS server? No, we don't have to fill it out. Okay, but it wants a host name, and so we call it KS5L S5L, and we'll say 1 because I'm gonna have 2. Subnet mask. Oh man. Oh, well, ain't that a bummer? I don't remember that stuff off the top of my head. Shoot. All right. Be right back. So if you do it properly, you'll get your operation succeeded. Yay! And then confirm restarting. Awesome. Yay, we're going to restart. And then it should do all that fun stuff. And when this reboots, hopefully we have solved our problem. Hopefully. There it goes. Cool. We've rebooted. Awesome stuff. There we go. Now we're seeing some data. Look at that. Abnormal, abnormal, normal. There we go. Things are looking good. It has connected to the default pool. Just for fun, let's see how much they've mined. They have so many mining addresses, so you really don't have any idea. But it's always fun anyway. Pull up the Kaspa Explorer. Go whoop. Oh my gosh. Over 1 million. 1 million. It's so much. I was partway there at one point. Oh, that's the other thing. So I pretty much sold majority of my Kaspa to reinvest in mining more Kaspa. Now you may be like, why wouldn't you have just hodled what I GPU mined? No, that's not how I roll. Son of a Tech says this as well. If you're not expanding, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I want to keep mining Kaspa. I want to keep making money mining Kaspa, so I'm going to reinvest in more miners. And we'll kind of get into a little bit more of that when we get over into our spreadsheet. Now, obviously, you need to set up your pool. In my case, I'm using K1 pool. So you do you. So we're going to copy this. This will be our worker. Got to clear out all this gunk. So much gunk. Gunk for days. I wonder if they have a new port for KS5. I don't know. We'll have to find out. I wonder why they even have password fields. I don't even know if I've ever had to use a password on an ASIC. On a GPU, I have. Sometimes it's for the difficulty or static diff or something like that. You have to do it in there. But most of the time, I've never had to use it. Comment down below your thoughts on that one. Anyway, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to do KS5. Wow, that's a % sign. 5L. and then we'll do _1 because it's the first one. Might end up being the second one serial number wise, which is how I actually label everything. I'm just gonna put X. Let's do a little start mining to see if there is a KS5L port. Interesting. So for the KS5L, they want you to use the same as the KS3. I guess that kind of makes sense. The KS3 is, 8 to 10 terahash depending on the unit you have. So a 12 terahash KS5L, it kind of makes sense. Obviously, we're going to use the USA stratums though. So we're going to do a little copy paste here. Righty. Actually, honestly, it looks like even the KS5, the KS5 also just uses that port. I wonder, whatever. So we've copy pasted that in. We're going to do a little save action and do an OK. I'm going to do a fan save at 100%. I'd rather replace fans than chips. Always have, always will. And we're going to do a little restart. You don't have to restart. It's just a weird habit of mine, to be honest, because the original KS0s, if you updated the pool data and didn't restart, it would not actually update. Even though it would update in the dashboard, here it would not actually change. So kind of goofy there. Yeah, we'll see if this guy does indeed start hashing and picks up poolside. So it finally got started. It took forever. I'm not really sure why. I ended up just restarting the unit, like doing a hard restart, and it worked fine that time. So not really sure what happened. Just didn't like something, I guess. But you can see we have connected to the pool. We have accepted shares, and temperatures are rising. I'm assuming this is the intake side and this is the exhaust side. Fan speeds. Looks like these fans are a little faster on the KS5L than on the KS3s, having a 7,000 max RPM rather than a 6,000. So we're gonna let this sit for a while, see if it, if the dashboard updates, the 5-minute update chart. But yeah, we are mining away 25. Yes, that's pretty awesome. Do also want to check out we're gonna go out into the room and check out our wattage, amps and voltage, and also want to I did get it up and running on the other screen, the chip manager, so that's cool as well. I'm curious. IceRiver is pretty bad when it comes to the stock thermal paste, so I'm curious how these are going to run stock out the gate. But we'll see. We will see. So let's wait a few minutes, see if this updates, see if it shows up poolside, and go from there. So you can see that it has updated in here after 6 or so minutes with our 5-minute hash rate. It's because it does take a minute or so when you turn on the unit to boot up. But yeah, we're at not quite the 12 terahash at the moment, but we'll see where it settles after a little while. For now, though, it seems to be rocking. We can see poolside. Has it shown up yet in this K1 API? No, it has not. So we'll give it a couple more minutes to show up there, and then we'll take a look what's going on outside of the computer. So you can see it has now shown up on poolside. The KS2, so the KS1 and the KS2, like I said, are actually both 1.5, so they each have 3 boards. I currently have this one unplugged just so I can see exactly, what this one's actually pulling wattage wise. I do plan on running all these plus the new KS5L that is not here yet, all in that room without issue. But yeah, let's hop on out of the computer here.
So we're out of the computer now. You can see that I've pulled up the KS5L in the monitoring software on my local desktop computer here. You can see how things are going so far. So far, everything's looking good. Nothing's over 90 degrees, which is great. 88 is the high there, 85, 87. So obviously, this unit's not overclocked. I don't even know if there's overclocking software yet available for the KS5L. I don't even know how much headroom there is on the PSU, which we will find out in a second. But yeah, running stock, even in a pretty hot environment. Again, my mining rooms, although the air changes, multiple times per minute, typically the ambient temperature is around 100 in there, and they're running fine. So no worries there. The clock speeds are there's a lot more chips on the KS5L. It looks like 64. But the clock speeds are lower. So interesting notes there. But yeah, let's head on out of here into the actual room to see what's going on. Wow, it's a screamer. I mean, hopefully you guys can't hear this. That's the point of the new microphone. But yeah, those extra 1,000 RPM fans are screamers. All right, cool. But yeah, it's just chugging along. So let's walk around back. See what we are looking at. We are looking at 230, we'll say 237 volts and about 15 amps, a little shy. So if we do the math, that is about 3,500 watts. So that's a lot of watts, guys. Lots of watts flying through that thing. But that's what that's what the fans running as well. It's 30 rated for 3,400, not including the fans. So seems to be doing all right. So there you go. 3,500 watts is what to expect, plus or minus, a little bit. At stock values, obviously you will need 240 volt. Obviously, this is not for home mining. I am not a home miner. I don't pretend to be a home miner, so don't say that I didn't tell you. I mean, if you haven't figured out I'm not a home miner by now, I don't know what to. You're probably like, well, why aren't all these other ones on? By the way, I'm reworking the farm. Check my other videos. There's a lot going on right now, but we're working on it. But these guys make too much money for me to have them offline. These ones, they're sleeping and waiting for the bull run. But until then, they're not really a high priority. Lots of older BTC miners, some Kadena miners, lots of Doge miners. Look at all those mini Doge miners. Oh my god. There's a couple big Doge miners here. I think that's one. But anyway, yeah. So that's kind of what we got going on. We're gonna let it run in the computer for a while, see where it averages out to. But yeah, so far pretty excited about this, guys. Pretty excited.
So we're back in the computer, and it has been a little more time after we checked out the wattage. So again, 3,500 watts, plus or minus 50 watts probably. But yeah, we're above that 12 terahash threshold, which is awesome to see. And I don't know if poolside, if that number's really gone up much yet. The K1 API, takes a little bit of time, but it'll get there. But yeah, it is rocking it. Sorry, wrong button. It is rocking it so far. Really excited to get this one and the second one running when that one comes in. Obviously, I'll let you guys know when it gets here, but obviously it's also not here yet. Uh-oh. Back down. Oh no. We've gone back down. We've gone back down, guys. Oh well, we'll see if it goes back and forth. See what happens. But we need to look at our ROI projections and calculator. So here is my awesome ROI calculator. Pretty much just copied the KS01 and modified it and kind of added some things that I've done in the AL box one, which I should do an update on here shortly, to be honest. It's been probably a month and a half since I got those running, so probably worthwhile to do one there. So that'll be upcoming content. Like, subscribe, you'll get that. But you can see what I've done here. I've added my two KS5Ls. So one is a batch 2. There was a batch 1 back in, I think it was May that it was delivered. This was back when they were like $14,000. Crazy. And then the KS5L batch 3, which is early July, which I should be getting in the next couple of weeks. And you can see the two costs here. So like I said, I bought this first one before the price drop from IceRiver. They dropped them mid-month to like 4,000. Actually, I put that over here. Yep, $4,799. We'll get to the FOMO calcs for you guys. I know you guys love those. But yeah, I did not. I think they were like almost 8,000. Tswift's awesome. He usually beats most prices and includes DDP shipping, which is awesome. Hit him up on Telegram. If you don't know where, I can help you in the comments. And then so that was like almost 7,000, but not quite. And then I got that awesome coupon because of the drop in cost. And IceRiver did something like that a year ago. Never heard of any other manufacturer doing it, so really awesome. But essentially, that means I got the second one for almost half off. Obviously, since I didn't pay the full price on the first one, my coupon was, less. If you paid the full cost, like essentially, they gave you the difference back. How much they dropped the price. So, got one for almost 7,000 and one for less than 3,000, which averages to something like 4,840. Yeah, that's what Excel says. So we'll take it. But then the thing I have added by request is, if instead of buying an ASIC on those days, how much Kaspa could I have bought with the same amount of money? So looked on CoinMarketCap. These are the values for the average cost of Kaspa on the days that I bought and sent money for these KS5Ls. And that equates to these two values here, which has a, oh, I copied over wrong. We're going to say Kaspa. I would have bought about 66,000 Kaspa between these two purchases. So essentially, the question is, will these two units combined mine me 66,000 Kaspa or not? And if they don't, I should have just bought. So it is kind of an interesting perspective that way. And then obviously there's the more traditional ROI calc, which is, I spent this much money, 9,680, and I'm earning how much per day, and when will I ROI? Now, I've explained in my prior videos, my ROI calcs are not per unit. They are for my farm, but not the farm as a whole, the farm per coin. So again, that's how I've grown. That's how any business grows, is reinvesting in yourself, and the previously paid off hardware helps pay for new hardware. So when I do my daily Kaspa amount in here, it's going to be based on my new total Kaspa hash rate across my farm. I don't include my KS0s because those are no longer mining Kaspa. I have them on a bunch of speculative K-heavy hash mines. And then for the FOMO calc, though, this is, if you bought a single unit, what would you expect? So you can see I have it down below. Everything's ready to go. So let's input some data. So daily Kaspa is probably the first one I need to know. This is the current. This is the average cost of Kaspa on July 1st, 18 cents, and 18.35 cents to be specific. So that's what we'll be using in our ROI calcs today. Looking at what we should be making. So I am now, as you can see, I have refreshed. I have brought in the other KS1.5 back online, and we are chilling at a cool. It hasn't stabilized yet, so it's kind of a little wrong, but we'll use the 30-minute, which is about 22.8, which, yeah, that sounds right. We should be hitting 12 here. My KS3L always gets about 6, and these two always get slightly over 2, so that would be, yep, about 20. Well, we'll be conservative. Let's say 22.5 terahash will be my average. So if we go, this is not the best calculator, but it's good enough for the purposes of this conversation. I should be making about 559 Kaspa a day. So we will throw in that number. 559. Alrighty. So if I make 559 Kaspa a day, again, this is based on the current difficulty on the network and the current hash rate, and the current value on July 1st of Kaspa at 18.35 cents. My farm should, and this is my investment in these 2 units, my Kaspa mining farm essentially should ROI in about 94 days. Again, this is not these 2 units. My other units are fully paid off. They have well overpaid for themselves at this point. I am well in the green on my Kaspa investments. So this is just solely from this day 4th, where I have started earning on this new equipment. I'm going to be tracking how much Kaspa my total Kaspa mining farm, which is now, as I just said, 22.5 terahash. I'm going to track once that current and reinvestment into the Kaspa mining farm has paid itself off, and right now I'm expected to do that in about 94 days, making about 102 total a day on my Kaspa ASIC miners. Now, you're probably a little more interested in the FOMO calc. I'm not saying you should buy this unit. Again, it's not really for home miners. But if for some reason you want to buy a single unit, I'm going to assume that you're going to be buying in the early July batch, which you will not get this $2,700 cost. That is if you had a coupon, which means you already bought prior. So if you're buying a one-off KS5L, you're going to pay right now $4,800. And with the current value of Kaspa, I'm going to assume and you will not have actually received this yet. I have yet to receive my early July batch. But let's assume you did get it somehow already. Let's update this. So this will be 12,000 gigahash. You will be making about 298 Kaspa a day. Not too bad. Not too bad. 298 Kaspa a day. Look at that. All right. So that means you're making $54, about $55 a day, and your ROI is going to be 87.76 days. So awesome sauce. Good for you. It's actually less than mine, and again, that's because I have this much more expensive KS5L that I'm already mining on. But again, I'm already mining on it. If you do have a FOMO KS5L, you will not have received it as of the recording of this video. Obviously, I can't do this yield yet because I just plugged this in. So from this day forward, I'm going to be tracking how much my Kaspa farm has earned per day. So, you know, the first payouts will be on July 2nd and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. Is right now a KS5L has about a 90-day ROI. Again, that is going to change because if we look at the hash rate history, you will notice that it only goes up and up and up. Has it slowed down a little bit? Yes, it has slowed down a little bit. But I have a feeling that once the KS5s ship from Bitmain later this summer, maybe early fall, we never know. You know, this is going to jump. So we'll keep an eye on that as we, you know, check in on these ROIs going forward and go from there. But that's all I got for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. You know, like, subscribe, comment down below. Are you thinking of getting KS5L? I mean, honestly, right now, if you are looking for a big Kaspa ASIC and you understand all the risks involved, my personal opinion is KS5L is kind of the best bang for your buck, and that's because of the cost of it right now. If you're wondering what I mean by the cost of it right now, I mean, if you look at the cost, how much you have to pay per terahash that you are getting in return, yes, the KS5M is more efficient at the same wattage, but you are paying a hefty premium for 3 more terahash. I mean, you are paying like almost $3,000 more per terahash. So the cost per terahash to buy is considerably lower on the KS5L. That also is true if you have the option to buy the KS5 from Bitmain. You know, just the KS5L, just from a how much it costs per terahash to buy a unit, is definitely the best bang for your buck on the big ASIC market for Kaspa at the moment. So yeah, I'd love to hear if you guys are, getting one, what your thoughts are. What do you think these ROIs will end up being? Um, I I guess I don't really know how to track this one. Hmm. I mean, I'm more interested, obviously, in my own, but I will find a way to maybe figure out how much KS5L is making per day over time and see when this one actually ROIs. But again, I do my ROI calcs as a farm total. Um, Again, not financial advice. That's just how I operate as a business. So, hope you enjoyed this content. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And that's all I got on my awesome new KS5L from IceRiver and from Tswift. Until next time.